Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you a few things. How to change an exam that's in your course into a SAM path to allow for individual learning pathways, as well as how to edit an existing assignment inside SAM and MindTap. So in this particular course, I'm in our Microsoft Word 2016 Comprehensive. At the bottom of this course, I have these MOS Word Specialist exam trainings and exams. So what these are tasks that my students would learn throughout the course, but that are mapped specifically to the MOS certification exam. And I have 5 different assignments here. So I would want my students, instead of just taking a training and then taking an exam, I actually want to create a SAM path where my students are taking a pre-exam. They then take a training that is remediating them only on the tasks that they missed in that pre-exam, and then they complete a post-exam, which is also testing them on the tasks that they missed in their pre-exam. So I already have these assignments that exist. I just want to change them into SAM paths. But the other thing I want to do is I want to shorten them because I only have a 45-minute time in each class with my students. And these individual assignments really include over 50 tasks each and that's a little too long for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is split one of these up so that they are now a couple of shorter assignments. And then I'm going to change that assignment into a SAM path so my students can get that individual learning experience. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Add and Create button and click Activity. In the activity list, I'll select SAM Assignment, and my SAM window will open. If I click into the Exams tab, I can now see all of the exams that are already associated with my course, but also all my other MindTap courses. So if it looks like I have some copies of assignments or a bunch of them, it's because I have many MindTap courses and I'm seeing all of them here. So those particular assignments I was looking for are called the MOS Skills Exams. And so I'm going to look for one of these that I want to split up and use in my course. And I've got this one here, that's the Manage Document Options. So right now, I have one that already exists. It was created back in June. Because I'm going to split this in half, I first want to create a copy. So I'm going to click this little copy button, that's 2 sheets of paper. And I can change the name of this. I'll delete copy of and make this part 1. I click next. I don't have to change anything until I get to my step where I'm selecting the individual tasks within the assignment. And so this particular assignment already had 25 tasks selected. Let's say that's either too much or too little for what I want. I can easily go in here and select ones that I do want, deselect any tasks that I don't. Now, because I'm here to the MOS 2016 certification prep, all of these tasks are needed for the MOS certification exam. So I can change whatever selection I want. If this was already larger and had, let's say, 50 tasks, I could deselect 25 of them, make it a little shorter. I can also make this a lot longer if I would like. And then basically, I will have changed that exam, and then I can go back into the original and do that as well if I really wanted to split this into 2 separate assignments. So I've selected what I want. I'll click Save. And at that point, I can click Done. I don't have to schedule it because I'm not using the exam as is. I'm actually going to turn it into a SAM path. So once I've worked within this window to be able to edit and customize my exams, copy them to make sure I have the ones that I want with the number of questions that I want, at that point, I can click back into the Assignments tab and click Schedule New. So when we do this, this is how we're going to create a SAM path from the exams that already exist. In the Assignments tab, I can now select SAM Path as a 4th option for an assignment type. And again, I will see all of my different exams that exist in my course or any of my other courses. I can filter this to just Word because that's all I'm concerned about right now. And I can find my particular assignment that I created or that I'm looking for within this task. So let's say it was this one. I'll select that. And then down at the bottom, I'll click Next Step. So I'm taking an exam that already exists, and I'm now changing that into a SAM path, which would consist of a pre-exam, a training that remediates on tasks missed from that exam, and then a post-exam that tests on those tasks. So here I can change this. I'm going to call this the MOS Skills Exam Create and Manage Documents Part 1. You have several settings here that you can decide to change. If you want students to see only the tasks that they need to remediate on, you should just leave it on the first check here. If you want students to have a post-exam that contains all of the tasks again after they've gone under remediation, or if you want students to see all of the tasks all the time, then you can change these settings here. I can add any direction under the pre-exam and as well as the training and post-exam if I want to let my students know what they need to do to complete this, let them know it's a pre-exam, whatever I would want to type in there I could. I can also specify a time limit for the pre-exam portion of this assignment. And I decide whether or not I want students to see the results after they do that. If I want to randomize these tasks in questions, that just means that if I have two students sitting next to each other, they'll have the same problem sets, they'll have the same tasks, but they could be in a different order. So chances are they can't look over at the other student's screen and copy them. So you have a few other settings you can change. How many chances a student gets to complete that task. 3 is recommended and is the standard. And then again, for your training, you can add instructions, and for your post-exam, you have similar settings that you can choose from. So take time to read over these settings and make sure that your SAM path is being delivered in the way that you want. If you want to specify a password for students to be able to get in here, you can certainly do that. You can decide when students can see their reports by working with these settings. I'm not going to change any of that. I'm going to click Save. And now my SAM path is created. It's based on that exam that I already edited and changed within the SAM app. And now I'm placing it within the MindTap course. So I can give these availability and due dates. If I do nothing here, they'll be always available for students, but they will not appear in a calendar view. If you want students to have that weekly calendar view, then you do need to apply a due date. I'm not going to change anything here, but then I decide where I want this to fall in my course. I'm going to have this actually start at the very top of my course before anything else so my students can get into it right away, and click Add. Now if we scroll to the top, here's my MOS Skills exam. And if I open into this, I'll actually be able to view it as a student. It'll open in a new window, and I am actually starting the pre-exam portion of this assignment. There we go. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.